Hello, so today I have an English project. That means analyzing an epic poem and analyzing another book that I have not read, but I have researched. First things first, you cannot come at me and tell me that these books, I didn't have them, so I printed them out, are not basically the same thing, right? Okay? This thing called Cold Mountain by this guy named Charles Fraser and the Odyssey, I hate myself. The Odyssey by Homer. Even the covers are pretty much the same thing. Like, the color palette is the same, right? So first things first, the Odyssey is about this guy named Odysseus. It's after the Trojan War because he's like the king of Ithaca, and he comes over to Sparta, and he's like over there to battle plan against the Trojans, and then that's where you get the iconic Trojan horse. And you know, like late in the night when they're like, bam, we're gonna kill everyone, because you know, like they gave him a horse because like Poseidon created horses, and they were like, hey, Trojans, here's a horse, it's a gift. And then they killed everyone, because that's how you solve your problems. Because like, when some guy comes along, steals your wife, you just kill his citizens. Like, that's obvious. He comes over and he's like, yo, I'm done, the war is over. The war is over. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go home now. And he's like, okay, bye guys, call me up if you need anything again. Some other guy comes and tries to steal your woman, because, you know, Helen's like the most beautiful woman in the world, apparently. And so he's like, yeah, just call me anytime you need me to come back. Menelaus is like, alright, bye, see ya. So Odysseus, but he takes his men back and he starts setting sail to go back to Ithaca, which I think is an island. So he's headed back to Ithaca, but there's a bunch of trials. What's happened? He can't get home yet, because guess what? He's going through the sea. Guess who's the ruler of the sea? Poseidon. Guess who's the guy that the Trojans worship that he just defeated? Poseidon. So we're gonna have a bit of trouble. So he goes through all this trouble. Meanwhile, his wife Penelope is over here being like, man, is my husband ever gonna come home? Because, like, you know, he's been gone for a while. She's like, all right, I'm just waiting for my husband. And all these suitors come along, which is kind of creepy because they're like 11 to 15. But, you know, that's how old adults were back then. And they're like, yo, your husband ain't coming back. You should get with us. And she's like, bruh, my husband's coming. And then she, you know, like, she starts to doubt herself. And then she gets like this vision in a dream. And it's like a vision. And it's like, Odysseus is coming back. It's like, Odysseus is coming back. You gotta wait. Just gotta be patient. Just wait. So she's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna wait for my husband. And these suitors are like, bruh, your husband ain't coming back. And she's like, no, my husband is coming back. Like, just wait. Meanwhile, Odysseus, he's over here with his men, and he gets washed up on this island. And there's Calypso. And if you read the Percy Jackson series, you'll probably know Calypso's not really good news. It's kind of like psychotic girlfriend.
Haha, like the meme from 2012. That crazy girlfriend meme? Okay, I'll stop now.
You know, like she comes over and she's like, bro, I want to marry you. She's like, just forget about your wife. Like, come with me. But Odysseus, being the loyal Hecate man that he is, he's like, no, I have a wife at home, I need to go to my wife. And she's like, okay. And then turns around and she's like, bam, I put a spell on you. And so now he just lives with her just for 7 years. For 7 years. And they have kids and everything. Athena, because Athena is like on the side of Sparta, because I'm pretty sure she like hates Aphrodite or something. Aphrodite's technically the one who like started everything.
Not to spill the tea, but I'ma spill the tea.
So Athena's like, yo, Zeus, can you help out my boy Odysseus? Because, you know, Penelope, his womans, is waiting, and are you just going to leave her there forever? And he has a kid, too, like a son that he hasn't seen for 7 years, so he's, like, grown up. So his son's like, where's my father? Athena's like, yo, Zeus, help out my boy. And Zeus is like, okay, fine, whatever. And I don't want to do it myself. Hermes, go get my boy. So Hermes goes over and he's like, bruh, Calypso, what are you doing? And Calypso's like, I just want to have him forever. Like, I just want to have him forever. And then Hermes is like, bro, give me back my dude. And she's like, okay, fine. That's her, like, uncasting the spell. And so then Odysseus is like, bro, what is this? How long have I been here? I have a wife. I have a kid. And so he, like, finally gets in his car. Well, not in his car. He gets in his boat and he starts heading back. Odysseus comes back and he's, like, in disguise and stuff because I don't remember. I think Athena disguised him.
Oh, dude, I was right. It was Athena.
One of the gods disguised him.
Yeah, it was
and
Athena.
now he, like, looks completely different. And so Penelope, like, is like, bro, this might be Odysseus. Like, I might have my man back. And so she, like, has this competition and is like, yo, anybody who can do this, which is something that only Odysseus can do, then I will marry you. And spoiler alert, none of the guys can do it except the Odysseus. And she's like, yep, that's my man's. And then they live happily ever after and kill every single one of the suitors who tried to marry her, you know, like, kind of. I don't think they did anything wrong. Like, I would have believed Odysseus was dead too, not gonna lie. So that's basically the story of the Odyssey. There's a leg of my desk. So next, now we're gonna move on to Cold Mountain.
Ugh, finally!
I actually don't know if this counts as a modern adaptation, but it's way further after the Odyssey.
And there's a movie made in 2003, so I think it counts.
Cold Mountain by Charles Frazier, and it's about this guy named Inman who was in the Civil War, but the Civil War is, like, about to end, and he's like, I want to go home and see my wife, and his wife's name is Ada, so he starts heading back to get with Ada. Well, he starts, like, going back home. Like, he got, like, severely damaged from, like, the war, because, you know, like, that's like the bloodiest war of all time, because nobody was prepared for, like, this industrial revolution. Meanwhile, Ada's like, man, is my man's gonna come home? You know, is my man's in man
Stop.
gonna come home? And then, so then she starts walking in the woods, and then she goes up to a well, and then she looks in the well, and then there's this vision of just a man walking in the woods. And spoiler alert, that man's is Inman. Yes, that's right. Her man's Inman.
Oh, you already made that joke.
So yeah, Inman, he, like, faces, like, all these trials, like, just like Odysseus did. And then he's, like, walking in the woods, right? And this is the part that's just like Calypso, because in the Odyssey, he gets tricked into being with her, right? Odysseus gets spelled to be with Calypso. Inman goes to this house, in this cabin in the woods, which you never trust, okay? So I don't see why he trusted that. But he finds this cabin in the woods, and then Odysseus was spelled, right? And now, what's the modern equivalent of being spelled? No, Inman gets drugged, okay? He gets drugged. And then he gets drugged, and then forced to marry Junior's wife. Then, finally, like Hermes, went over to Calypso and was like, yo, let my boy go. So, Junior finally hands over Inman to this guard, like, to the home guard that's been searching for him, and it's like, yo, let my boy go. Like, we need to, like, get this man out. Later, and you know how Penelope got the suitors wanting to marry him? Well, Ada, Inman's woman, like, starts a farm, like, where they live, and instead of suitors, there are these pilgrims that are just walking by, and they're just like, yo, we need some shelter, can I hang out for a bit? And she's like, yeah, fine, I guess. And then Inman just, like, keeps going on his merry way, and Inman and Ada are reunited finally at last, and then Inman kills all the guards that were after him, just like Odysseus and Penelope reunited and killed all the suitors. So don't come at me and tell me that these books are not identical, okay? They're the same. But these books are the same. They're the same. You can't. Cold Mountain and the Odyssey.
Yo, whoever can count how many times I said same in this video, the first person to come to me, I'll buy you chips.
Like that does that. That's pretty much it. So, Cold Mountain and the Odyssey, like the same thing.
Ha, if you miss that one, you don't get chips.
Who would have thunk? I don't say that. Yeah. Stay hydrated. I know this is a second video in the weekend, but the other video is just procrastinating this video, so yeah, stay hydrated. Watch my last video. I'll probably leave playlist, to be honest. But yeah, watch my last video. It's pretty good. I'm proud of it, so bye!